Hey, I'm at 218 South Winter Street in Yellow Springs, Ohio. I'm doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a building. This is like an 8-unit. They're all in a row, and so there are multiple sanitary lines, it looks like, coming out at different points in the building. So we're going to try to do all of these to the best of our ability. We'll get as much, based off of access and everything, we'll get as much as we can located or inspected. I'm trying to clean the lens off. We got a smudge right in the middle, and it does not want to, for some reason, does not want to clean off. So there we go. Alright, so we're going in from the clean out far end of the building by the carports. You can see there's the clean out, there's the street, and then I'm going to try to go both ways. This looks like it's pretty shallow, and so I think the going downstream from this point is probably going to be the shortest, but we're going to go downstream first, and it looks like it turns immediately, and it's going towards the back of the building. So there may be something here that goes all along the outside of the building. So so there may be, based off of how it exits the building. This seems like it is going around the back of the building, and so we're going to follow this, and hopefully on the way out we'll see enough. But if not, we can hopefully pull back and be able to see when we're not plowing up stuff in front of the camera that we're pushing out. But this looks like the line is going left again, which is going around the building. And so I'm going to pause the video here after this turn, and I'm going to go get a locate, and we're going to see exactly where this line is, so we can get a better idea of the layout, and I can describe that also. Alright, so the line does come out the back. It goes around the back of the building, and there are separate taps that come out periodically and go through, come out and tie in. So we should see some tie-ins on the left side, I believe, of the, based off of the orientation. I would believe that these taps we would have some taps coming in from the left, and it seems to me there's like 4 wet walls, meaning walls that carry plumbing, probably piggybacked, and it's the walls that all the plumbing for the bathrooms and kitchens, they're probably mirrored so that they can all come into one wall and come out. 8 units, 4 walls, and there's the first one right there. And so we're going to pause the video here. I'm going to get a locate to verify where this is, and we'll do that as we go while we're inspecting the line, and just to kind of get an idea of the layout, so that it's known how this is all configured. So I'm going to pause the video and get another locate. Okay, so that one is marked, and there's an outside clean out for that tap. It's probably 10 feet of pipe that runs into it. We'll see if we can should be able to get access to that and take a look at that little branch, and we'll try to get this all in one video here. But so far, this is great. This is SDR 35 PVC, so this is relatively new compared to the age of the building. This is really new, so this has been replaced, which is good. It's a little flat. The water is obviously escaping. It's not holding a ton, but it's pretty shallow, and the grade it's good, but it's not a ton. You can see 1% is about normal. It's about an eighth of an inch per foot, or 1 foot every 96 feet, so roughly 1 foot every 100 feet. Okay, and then here is the next tap there from the left. So again, we're going to pause, get a locate. And I'm putting small green dots of paint here just to show where they are so you can see the configuration. This is just surveyor's paint, so it will disappear shortly. Okay, so that one is, there's another outside clean out in the landscaping there. And so based off of what we've seen on the inside, I actually believe that the two come out in the center and actually combine before they tap into this, or we're going to find one in a pretty short distance. But we'll take a look obviously on the way back also, see if we can see anything. So far the line looks great. And so all the exterior stuff may have been replaced. Yeah, here's another one. So again, we're going to pause, get a locate. Okay, so this one is marked, and this one does not have an outside clean out. I know that there's a hanging sewer where it exits in the basement, so if need be, we'll be able to access it from there. But everything is looking really good so far. And that's what we want. All the exterior pipe being replaced like this really helps. And this was probably originally all clay tile. Not that that's bad, but a lot of problem with root intrusion and stuff like that. So this is a pleasant surprise. And here we are going back into the original clay. It looks like 4-inch PVC going into a 6-inch clay line, which would have been normal. And so we'll probably pass the end of the building, and we'll get all the way out to the main. Okay, looks like we've got some damage here. Or is that just spider webs? I think that's just spider webs. Okay, yeah. Got me for a second. Sometimes seeing with this camera is a little weird. And that's all that was some spider webs. It just took a little bit of adjustment to see that. Nope, and that's all the stick I have now. So I'm going to go out and mark this so I know where it ends, and then we'll go from another access point, which will be closer, and we'll be able to match that up and get past here. I believe I'm pretty close to the main, but we're going to go locate this. I just only have 150 feet of stick on the camera, so we're going to pause the video and get another locate. Okay. We're actually good here. This is within 5 feet of the main, and that's where it switched over when it left the property. That's where it switched over to clay, and so the local municipality would be responsible for basically where that switchover occurred out to the main. And so, like I said, we're within 5 feet of the main, and so we're off the property, and everything looks great. So looks like at some point the property owner replaced all the exterior piping with SDR 35, and so you can see right here is like about the curb based off of where my locate was. I was out in the street, and the main is like within 5 feet of where we were, and so we were at 147, and this is where it jumps into the PVC. There you go. Comes back up into the 4-inch. And so about 15 feet. So it's about the sidewalk, I would say. There's not really much sidewalk over there, so it's about 5 feet inside the curb on the property is where they took the new pipe to. But everything looked wonderful, including the clay. So we'll continue, looking as we pull back. But this whole line looked great, and we'll try to we'll go back through a couple different accesses and get an idea of where everything is and how everything else looks. But this line, which is the main lateral, leaving the building and picking up all the other bathrooms, there's other short pieces of pipe that tie into this. So this is the majority of the line. Have a little bit of just build up from it being flat, and then it'll flush out. Okay, we should be getting close. Coming back around the corner here. We should have one turn, and as you can tell, as we're pulling back, we don't have that obstruction in front of the camera, and we can see everything better. Here we are out of the clean out. And so, we'll take a look there, and then I'm going to go back in. We're going to turn. We're going to go back in the building a little bit here. Shouldn't be much, but you might not be able to go in because it's old cast iron. It's inserted into this, so there'll be a lip going upstream. Yeah, I started to go downstream again. So we'll see if we can. Yeah, this is right where it exits the building. It's only a foot of pipe, and so we can see, but there's a little lip where it, when you're going the other direction, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a lip right there where the two pipes come together at the clean out. And so that interior pipe is smaller than the exterior pipe, so there's just a lip going in reverse. We're going against flow, but like I said, it's about a foot from the building, so there's really nothing really there except for that transition. The other stuff is hanging and can be inspected. You can see the entire pipe from the basement. Okay, so that is the main part of the line. That all looked wonderful. We're going to pause the video here. I'm going to make a move to another clean out on the exterior, and we're going to go from there and try to go both directions also. Do that little short bit of pipe, and then we'll move on to the next access point. Okay, so now this is probably shared 5, 6, 7, and 8, those units probably come out into this based off of the shared plumbing wall. See, there's the back, and here is, you can see the end of the building there, and this is the first wet wall. And so I'm going to go in here, we'll go downstream, and then we'll see if we can go upstream. We are very close to the building again, and this will be pretty short where this ties in. See, just a little bit of water there. And you can see this is the line that we inspected earlier, right there to that T. It tees in, and This has all been replaced, and then we'll try to go backwards. This is a smaller, like a 3-inch clean out, so this is a little more difficult to, because it is a sweep, but it might just be enough. Okay. Pretty sure we're going upstream, but I was wrong. We went downstream again. So we'll see if we can get this to go upstream. It should only be a couple feet of cast iron, and based off the color of the water in here, that is from the old cast iron pipes that are inside that are above ground. And you can see from the basement that it's see if it went downstream again. I think it did. Yeah, I keep going downstream, so may not be able to go upstream, but like I said, we're about 2 feet, 1.5 feet from the building, and then the stuff that's there is stuff, all the stuff inside is exposed. It's above ground, at least on this line. Yeah, we'll just keep going downstream. I can't go upstream on this line because the clean out's so small. It does have a sweep on it, which forces you to go downstream, but a lot of times when they're shallow enough and if they're a large enough clean out, I can get it to, there's a big enough opening in it where I can get it to go upstream, but in this case it doesn't seem like it's gonna want to. So but again, you can actually inspect even the exterior of the line, see what kind of condition it is. And from there, we know it has pitch. And so the lines 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That little lateral or tap, it looks great. Also, so far we haven't found any issues at all. That's what we're hoping for. So we're going to pause the video. I'm going to move on down to the next exterior clean out. Okay, so we are getting ready to go into the second clean out. I believe this will probably be for units 1 through 4, but there is another branch that comes out, and so we'll check that. But right now, I didn't actually give you the look around here. There's the rear, and you can see on that side, that is the opposite end of the building. Going right by the street, and here we are going into clean out in the landscaping, and we'll go downstream first again. It's only a few feet. Check this line. This all looks great. And then I'm going to see if I can flip around and try to have a little bit better luck going upstream from this point. If I can get it. Alright. And there we go. We went back inside, and there's the cast iron. Should be a very short distance of cast iron. There you go. You can see that is the clean out, the back side of a clean out that is on the horizontal pipe that is hanging inside the basement. And so this all looked wonderful also. So far, nothing to even note or remark on. This is great. So next step is another pause, and we're going to have to go into the building and see if we can get access to the to one of the basement short ones. If we can't, get that one, it is only about 4 feet of pipe. And then from there, there's also a lower line with a clean out in the floor that we're also going to check, that only handles the basement and the last unit on the end. So again, we're going to pause the video and make a move. Okay, so now we're in the basement of the far left unit. I would say it's have to be 8 or 7, whatever this is. It's torn down to the studs. It's like there's some groundwater and stuff getting in. So, but as you can see, this is the lower line I was speaking of. You can see this is the basement. There's some, looks like groundwater here, and here is the clean out. It is only allowing me to go both ways, or go both ways, go downstream. As you can see, down in it, it's forcing me to go out towards the street. And so we won't be able to do, at least from right here. We'll see if we can, we'll get out, and this should be a separate tap here. Looks like it comes out and turns left. Looks like, huh, little turn, and this most likely goes straight out and ties into the main separately. So there's actually 2 separate taps on the building, one low, one high. But based off of where the building is, this is all, like, we've already gone past the point where the municipality would take over responsibility. But this all looks great. Okay, and there is the tap on the main. You can see that line that has been lined. You can see how it's green, and you can see the little spot there at the hole where it was trimmed out. And so the main has actually been lined. But this section looks great also. Back and getting a look at all this, and we're back in the cast iron. And there is like a Y-in or something from the bathroom is what it looks like. Or there's a clean out outside, which may be, you just can't, there's tons of bushes over there. I never saw anything because it's right past the foundation. But that line looks great also. So we'll pause the video again, and we're going to make another move. I believe there's one on the there's one more hanging one that we're going to look at, see if we can get access to, and then there is another like a clean out the floor, but I'm not sure if that's for the foundation drains or not. We're going to take a look at that also. Okay, so now you can see we are going through, this is the hanging one. The other one we went through, it had an outside clean out, is just to the right where the water comes in. You can see there's a water meter just over there. It's kind of hard to see with the lighting, but there is another line sticking out of the wall over there. And that is, it's black, so it's kind of hard to see. But there is a clean out over there on the other side of the window. But we already were able to access that from an exterior clean out. So this is the one that we could not. This one looks like it's got quite a bit of build up. I think this is only one little line and discharge for the for this sump pump, and that's why I think, and that's why this looks like this. It's got a bunch of build up. It's like a one sink line or something. I'm not really sure. And there it is coming into that T where we did the main line. And so we'll get a look at this on the way back.
But yeah, you can see I pushed through it. The cast iron is just building up from where the tap is. I was trying to go through right where, see where that thing is on the top, that connection there, and so I just pushed right on through it, and opened it up better. But the line was just had a little bit of build up, probably some just some stuff from the sink line and some minerals from the ground. So we are going to, that line is in egg shape also. So I'm gonna pause the video again, and we're gonna make one more move. All right, so we've made a move over. There's a floor clean out just next to the washer and dryer, right next to the stationary tub. If you're facing the building, it's the center right. If you come down the steps, and we're going to see hopefully where this ties into. Hopefully we can get access. There's been some groundwater. We're not sure if this is the lower line for the laundry room here, or if it's something that's been abandoned. But the line here, we'll take a look at it. It should all be cast iron. And I believe there's something coming in here from the left, so we're going to run some water here in this stationary tub, and we're going to see if that's where that ties in. It should, and this may go the length of the building and go into that clean out there in the floor. It's going to take a second, but it should be coming in from the left if that's tied in here. Turn the water up a little bit. And there you go. It's actually coming from behind. So we'll pull back a little bit and see where that water is coming in from. It actually, it's like the water lines are switched too. The hot is on the right, not on the left. Yes, so this is actually coming from behind. It's probably just as we got into the clean out. So this tie-in right here should be this floor drain. And so maybe if you have somebody come out and clean the floor drain, then that floor drain would actually drain, and it would help maybe get rid of some of this water here. And you can see the Y-in right there to the left. And so I think that it would help to get rid of some of the stuff that's sitting in that area, get rid of some of the groundwater that's getting in. I'm going to have to shut the water off. It's raising up above the camera lens. So we'll let that drain down a little bit, or we'll push out, and then as it drains down, we should be able to see better when we pull back. But you can see little flashes. The camera lens is only about a ½ inch off the bottom of the pipe, so that's not much water. So as this drains, we should be able to see really well on the way back. Nothing else, we'll push all the way until we get out, and we'll let it sit for a minute and see if it drains down at all. Okay. I believe we're pretty close. It looks like we've exited the building. It looks like we're in the clay now. So I believe within 100 feet or so we should hit the main. And then we'll have to just let this drain down for a minute before we pull back. And there we are at the tap on the main again. So we're going to pause the video for a second, let this drain down, and then we'll pull back and inspect the line on the way back. Okay, so we've let the water drain down. We should be able to see better on the way back. And this is the same, this does go through the same low line that has the clean out right before it exits on the far end of the building, the far left side. And that is that, so this is a separate tap. So it is good for the laundry that it has its own line, especially if there is no tenant or and even a unit in the basement. All of this line just carries the laundry. So this has all been inspected. And then back in the cast iron, and there's that spot we saw. We are right in the clean out. The biggest thing you're probably going to see on this cast iron is maybe a little bit of grease buildup, or it looks like grease, but it would be like fabric softener. It has a lot of oils and stuff that can congeal and cause a little bit of slow running. See, this is all, looks like this is all in really good shape. Obviously cast iron, you can't really tell tell how thin or thick the pipe walls are, but in a lot of cases in the 40s they used thicker pipe than they did in the 60s. So this should all be heavy duty cast iron. And this all looks wide open. It all looks in good shape, so. We should be getting closer. There's that floor drain. So we should be getting really close to getting out of the clean out. There we are. All right, so as a combination of everything in this place looks great. I didn't find any defects whatsoever, which is great. The only issue I would mention, I wouldn't even say is an issue, is just the fact that it is cast iron. So eventually, you know, it will rust over time. But as of right now, it looks like it's got a lot of life left in it. It's wide open and flowing and functioning as designed at time of inspection. So that'll end the inspection at 218 South Winter Street in Yellow Springs, Ohio.